Hi, and welcome to the sewing studio, the sewing machine studio, actually. And yeah, this is Jebb Adams, and welcome to all the viewers and watchers and subscribers. So this is your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, well, thank you for coming back. I appreciate your patronage. So we have Gina, the Singer 500J from circa 1961. And today we're going to be working on the hand wheel and taking a look in there to see what the situation is. But before we do that, I'd like to quickly talk about an easy way to replace this slide plate, because they're very essential, but it can be very easy to break the pins or the pieces of metal, that strips of metal that hold them down. So just bear with me while I get us lined up here a little and make sure we can get a good view for you. How's that? I just don't want it to fall backwards. I think this might work. So let's get in a little closer, and we'll take the slide plate and we'll bring it back right to where the metal clip, the metal strap is. Here I have a really small, kind of grubby flathead screwdriver. What I do is I just take it, and there I've got the one side in, and then I move it down here and just gently lift it, and now we have the plate in. The plate is there. And then of course we want to put the throat plate back in, because a lot of what we, whoopsie daisy, a lot of what we did was for that. How are we making out here? I'm not holding it the correct way. What's it getting hung up on? It is getting hung up on the feed dogs. There. So that's an easy way to get the slide plate on, and we don't have to worry about breaking the metal strips. So moving on to the point, today's adventure, and it's going to be a hand wheel adventure. Indeedy do. It really will be. And I'll tell you why, because I don't have a lot of experience with 500 hand wheels. But anyway, here's a hand wheel. What this, that's strong. There, that's loosened it, but it's a little too large. There. So that screw is out, and we'll put it in this metal tray with a couple of other things so we know where it is. And then I'll see if I can unscrew that. Yes, I can. Now, we can see that this is an old machine. Look at the wear and tear. I mean, we've got marks there. But in general, I mean, there's no rust. And, oh, there's a little bit of gunk. Got some on my finger. There's a piece of paper towel here. Shop towel. I don't want to get the gloves all mucked up right at the start. But you know, except for this little bit of dirt in here, this is largely quite clean. Or less dirty, I guess, is the proper way to phrase it. Let me get in here. So there we go. So that part of the hand wheel is off. I'm wondering if that is still called the stop motion. I guess it is a stop motion clamp, because that's what that set screw that we put in there, that's what it does. It changes this from, you know, no power to, there's a little bit of fluff and more there. From no power to the needle bar, to power to the needle bar. Here is the washer that and I'm just noting the position that it is. We've got one nib down here, one there, and one there. And does it make any difference which way is in and which way is out? Well, it doesn't look like it would, but I'm going to put it back the way it came off, because that's the way this machine has been run in. So we'll take that off. That's going to be cleaned as well. And we'll see what else we have here. And there's the hand wheel. So that washer is between the hand wheel and the stop motion clamp. On the 400s, the stop motion clamp is, it's not as wide in circumference as this, and it's chrome. It's very shiny. It's chrome. This is painted there. Just kind of wipe that off. So here comes the hand wheel, and here we see the gear, the Tectonite gear. Just going to back this up a bit for us. Whoops, wrong way. So this Tectonite gear, these things are practically indestructible. I haven't been in this business a long time, but oh, look how grungy that is. That's really a mess. But no problem, it'll all get cleaned up. There's these spring washers or whatever we have on there. There's a raised divot there, no doubt part of the mechanicals. So that will all be cleaned as well, as will all this. We can see the gear over here. It's quite dirty in there, quite dirty indeed. Mates with the Tectonite gear on the hand wheel. So that's all grimy and dirty. Lots of grime and dirt in there. So that's how that's looking. This is the horizontal arm shaft that goes from this end of the sewing machine right to the other end. And there's a counterweight here on this end. I don't know if we can see it right away. And there's a counterweight on the other end. And the cam stack, it runs off this circulating shaft. There's a worm gear, a worm drive. And so most of my time is going to be cleaning this little area here. before we start in on the top of the machine.